So that night, we sat down with Faye's mom, Laura, in her bedroom while her dad was watching the news downstairs. Her mom was so upset at the stories we told her. I mean, she was visibly disturbed to the point of being in tears. She kept apologizing to Faye and hugging her. Laura told us that they'd purchased the cabin from their good friend, Jennifer, I think, who moved to Nevada about 20 years ago, and that Jennifer and her husband had complained about all sorts of weird experiences while living there. Her husband Tom, like myself, was fond of hiking and exploring the woods, and collected tons of arrowheads and other neat little trinkets he'd find on his travels around Pikes Peak. But Jennifer started having dreams about Tom being dragged off into the woods from their bedroom. She had all kinds of horrific nightmares about it being skinned, pinned up in the trees like some kind of macabre artwork. Jennifer said that while Tom was at work, she would occasionally hear the voice of her daughter, who died in childhood of some kind of bone cancer, calling Mommy from the edge of the forest. Jennifer's doctors claimed it was the medication she was on and changed her meds. Tom got a new job in Vegas and they basically noped right out of there. On a lighter note, Tom hanged himself in the garage 2 years after they moved. No note. Or anything. Anyway, Laura, Faye's mom, and Greg, Faye's dad, only used the cabin as a getaway in summers. Laura never experienced anything beyond weird feelings while she was there. She chalked that up all to the crazy stories Jennifer had told her. Greg, however, who suffers from PTSD-related nightmares occasionally, experienced exacerbated sleep disturbances in the cabin. Over the years, he became reluctant to go there, claimed that all the things he'd seen in Vietnam had come back to him when he slept there. Allegedly, some of the people he saw get killed would come back and talk to him in his dreams at the cabin. Last time he stayed there, he woke up in a dream to find a few of them sitting in his bedroom with him, maimed, rotted. He privately mentioned to Laura that he also heard their voices in the forests, crying, begging, screaming for their mothers. Oh, and guess what time he always heard them? Laura told us that she honestly did not believe there was anything really wrong with the cabin. Faye was extremely pissed and let her have it. It kind of ended our visit on a bad note. Later that night, I was up reading, and Faye was sleeping next to me. She always falls asleep before me. That girl could fall asleep on a pile of rocks. She started mumbling in her sleep, so I listened carefully. And here are a few of the things I heard her say. Never, never, never. No, I wouldn't. On the mountain. I can't. Why? His name. We don't know you. No. No, it's Felix. About 2 hours later, she woke me up by nudging me in her sleep and saying, "Tell the man in the hall to leave." This sent me over the edge, so I got to go to the bathroom and get some water. I didn't find anything strange. I had a very hard time falling asleep, though. This morning, we heard back from the guy who went up to the cabin to check it for gas leaks, carbon monoxide, at the behest of a few scrupulous Redditors. The guy mentioned that radon is a really big problem in some of these old places in the mountains. He's some kind of super badass handyman with all kinds of equipment. So he wrangled up one of the peak rangers and they went up to the place together. Apparently, there were tracks all around the house. 12 pairs of them. Like a large group of people had been wandering around, looking in the windows. All the windows and doors were sealed the way we left them. When they got inside, some stuff was moved around. The silverware drawer was emptied onto the kitchen floor and turned upside down. The power was completely dead. The weirdest thing was that there was water all over the bed and on the floor. But our guy checked for leaks in the ceiling and the bathroom pipes. Nothing. Nothing had been stolen from the house, not even food. Some of the old clothes in the bedroom were strewn on the ground, but nothing stolen. Like maybe someone was trying them on, or smelling them. The rangers said that there were legends about the mountain. Something about things that sort of act like people, but they come out of the old abandoned mines. Greg's friend couldn't remember the name the ranger gave them. It was in a native language. I asked Greg to ask the ranger about the sounds I heard, specifically the whachu, wolmai. And he said it's a widely recognizable chant, but he doesn't know what it means. Anyone here have any idea? No radon, no carbon monoxide, and no gas. The place is all electric. He checked for mold, but said it was unlikely that there would be any all the way up here. He did say it's possible that there's some kind of electrical problem, and that this sometimes can cause people to feel very unsettled and maybe have hallucinations. He has some kind of Geiger counter or gadget that detects issues like this, but it was broken when he tried to use it. I'm going to keep a close eye on Faye. She's still shaken up about all this. If there's anything left to report, I'll let you know. Update. We've begun hearing voices outside of our home. Faye is really upset and feels that I might have exacerbated these strange circumstances by giving them widespread exposure online. So I'm gonna go dark for a few days, see if that helps. Don't worry about us. We have a few close friends looking out for us. They know the entire story. Hi everyone, I just want to make a quick update, as promised, because Faye and I are flying back to California shortly. Faye's back to normal, feeling great. I watched her eat a huge plate of chicken parmesan yesterday. The first thing I should mention is that Faye's father was very reluctant to talk about the cabin and the weird experiences we'd had there. He kept trying to change the subject and was generally in a bad mood, which, albeit, is pretty normal for him. He's a really grumbly Vietnam vet, and he's been in the army since he was young. His personality is exactly the way you'd imagine it. So Faye asked him bluntly, if something was wrong with that cabin, why would you let us go there in the first place? And his response was, talk to your mother.